Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Niacin. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, I came across a video from a brother. I appreciate his work. He is a great one. And he was talking about empathy and sympathy, right? And he talked about Kanye West and what he's going through, I think through his song that he released and all that. And he was saying that sometimes in black community use people's ordeal or experiences to probably make mockery of the person and all that. And you all know how sensitive SA and all that are. I mean, people's trauma and the rest of it, right? So while he was saying that, he is saying that Black people can also do better trying to handle some certain thing, especially when it comes to trauma. Then I mean, that is really a very great thing, right? Why did I say it's a great thing? Trauma and it's something, mental health is not something people should take lightly, something we should tread with caution while talking about it. Then let me tell us something. You all already know how problematic Kanye West is. He is a very problematic person. Then what do you also expect when people do not also extend that empathy and sympathy towards other people? Because he was also the same person during Black Lives Matter and all that he actually wore the shirt that he wore out with Candace Owen, right? Now, I am going to say this. Sometimes what happens to some people in a community is what you have done or how you have treated people. There are some people, if something happens to them in Black community, everybody will run out, right? Because the person may have like done something for Black people, not really doing something. Maybe how you talk, how you do, how you treat people, and all that really do matter. So all these things are also what we consider before help Black people or people in general consider before helping people. Let's get into this video.
You know what's really fucking sad to me as a black man is we have a tendency as black men to take each other's trauma and joke about it, laugh about it, make jokes about it. Whether it's sexual trauma, mental trauma, emotional trauma, anything that appears a black or anything that makes a black man vulnerable, we use that to exacerbate a person's weakness. And we ridicule them about it. And you wonder why black men are so sheltered, why black men are so angry inside. We deal with the same thing that everybody else deals with, except for we're quiet about it. We don't speak it out. And we will rather bury that pain a lot of times than speak it out for the fear of being criticized about it. As a person who has had to go through sexual trauma himself, as a person who is a sex victim, you know what I'm saying? I see what Kanye West did as a cry for help, honestly. I don't know how much that experience was tormenting him between him and his cousin, but I do know that he has been acting quite weird lately. And we all can agree to that. We all can agree that we didn't understand what's going on with Kanye. Did he snap? We knew when his mother died, a lot of that stuff got a lot of this stuff changed for Kanye once he lost his mother. We don't know what type of peace that was for him, peace of mind. Anybody who's dealing with mental illness, they always have a catalyst of someone who can keep them together. But if they lose that person or they lose that anchor, they have a tendency to snap back into those very thoughts that were haunting them. And it's no doubt in my mind that Kanye has went through some shit in his life that has messed up his head, both in the industry, out the industry, after the industry. And it's really sad because brothers like me and other people who have went through different traumas, and even if you haven't, should be sensitive to that when they see another black man suffering mentally like this. When they see their brother suffering like this, y'all made money off of this man. Y'all banged his music for years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you have to agree with what he's saying or what he's doing and all that. We all know that Kanye could be a little cuckoo. But one thing that white people don't do is leave their white men alone. Even Jeffrey Dahmer had chances. Even Jeffrey Dahmer had a goddamn support team. You know what I'm saying? Even he had PR to still make him look good. And he was a serial killer, one of the worst. We have to understand that these things that we judge each other for were placed on us to judge each other for. Your sexual trauma is not a weakness. It does not hinder you from living. It doesn't keep you from being, it doesn't make you a bad person because you were violated. If this had been two women talking, there would be none of this conversation. There would be no laughing and no jokes or anything like that. You see what I'm saying? But because it's a black man and it's Kanye, everybody got some jokes to say. It could have been Snoop Dogg. It could have been Kevin Hart. It could have been any other. It could have been The Rock. And you can't sit up here and tell me that none of them have ever experienced anything sexually violating in their life. Now, I agree. Some things you don't need to share online. Absolutely. But he shouldn't have had to do that. He should have had people around him that he could have said that to, that he could have had in his life to help him heal so he wouldn't have to publicly share that information. However, I think he strategically did it because he knows that he ain't the only person that actually went out there. Some people, believe it or not, still listen to Kanye West. They still respect Kanye West. They still get healed from what he says and does. This man is not a monolith. He still has a goddamn following. Case in point, all of the people who are talking about him. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that these traumas and these outbursts and these mental breakdowns for our black men are sensitive things that we need to surround conversations around. We gotta stop this division and, oh my God, this nigga, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, this so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Making jokes about people's illness, their issues, their problems. It burns me up because we can never move forward as a people if we don't strengthen one another. You know what I'm saying? We can never move forward as a people if we don't know what unity is, and we don't know what love is, we don't know what compassion is, and we don't understand each other. We have to stop this right now. We got to stop this division and this laughing and this joking and this criticism and all this stuff of our own people. We have to stop it. Now, if the other side wants to do that with it, you don't even see white broadcasters, white news journalists, and all of that doing this to Kanye. You don't even see them covering that story on their news networks. It's not a big deal to them. But in the black community, I'm listening to what y'all talking about, and this is big news to y'all. This is a big joking matter to y'all. And ain't nobody gonna say shit to you because you got huge platforms and everybody gets a kick out of someone else's pain and trauma and all of that shit. And we just are a sick people that we get laughs and jokes out of people's pain and trauma. I think it's a fucked up thing that I feel like we all need to take a look back. Look at your own damn life and look at what's happened in your life. And just think if someone found out about that thing about you. Just think how much that thing has haunted you all your life because you couldn't talk about it. Whether it was your father doing something to you, whether it was your mother doing something to you, your cousin, your sister, your brother. It happens in every fucking family. I can guarantee you that shit. So I don't think anybody has the means to sit there and laugh. And if it has not happened to you, trust me, if you live long enough, you're going to run into somebody who it has happened to. So I really hope and pray that we do better as a people. Now, y'all can sit up here and say that's some bullshit and I don't give a fuck and this is some I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay, continue to do that and continue to deteriorate as a person. Because I guarantee when your trauma comes and they do the same thing to you, you're going to look back and wonder why people are treating you that way. I pray and hope that Kanye is getting the help that he needs. I honestly do. I pray that people are surrounding him to help him heal from that. It's very traumatic and it's very fucking sad. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that he can find some reasoning with his cousin or if his cousin's around. I didn't listen to the song, so I don't even know. But I'm seeing what everybody's doing and I'm just, it's kind of sickening. It's not, and it's not funny in my opinion. So, I just wanted to say, Kanye, man, this messed up as a brother, who has been through a similar situation. I'm praying for you and I'm hoping that you get the healing that you need and that you can move forward. I love y'all. Continue to be productive. Continue to, protect the ones you love and continue to just be there. Just be there for the people who may be suffering mentally.
This is all I got from this video. Why did I brought this video here? Because, it got to do with black people and all that. And also I want us to talk about something. First of all, I am going to start with empathy, sympathy, and the rest of it. I am sorry that whatever that has happened to Kanye West in the past and all that. And I really do hope he healed, right? Now, I am going to say this. I think everybody look for a way to blame Black people over what is going on in every other person's life and all that. So let me tell us something. I hope you in person know that you are in person the master planner of whatever that is going on in your life. I understand mental health, trauma, and all that has a way of finding its way back to people's life, especially when you've been through some traumatic events and all that. Then what are you in person doing? What are you trying to do as a person that is going through that to get help? Because before you get empathy, sympathy from other people, you absolutely need help, right? And there is nothing as beautiful as the help that you choose that you are going to get for yourself. Now, what is the person going through all that? What is he doing to make his life better or to make his experience lesser, right? And I have so many things to say about Kanye West, right? Not just about whatever that is happening to him at this point in time. I really do feel bad about it. Like, I don't want to act like, people with mental health or people going through trauma, like, it's not something people should overlook and all that. But it's something you personally have to look for help for yourself, right? You have to heal. Because it is only when you are healed that you can talk about some certain things. There are some things you can't even talk about because you are not healed, because you are still living in it. Right? Now, and I know how problematic Kanye West has always been. He is a very problematic person. I am not going to lie to you about this. Just to my to Black community too. He is not the best of them. He is saying if you were Snoop Dogg or this person going through that with the people still, see, let me tell you something. How you behave towards your people also determines how your people will come up for you when something happens to you. I don't know if you have heard that. In as much as we are preaching sympathy, empathy, and all that, how you treat people in your community also determines how people in your community will treat you, how they will value you. If you take them as trash, when something happens to you, they will not come up for you. So being empathy and sympathy comes both ways. Is he also empathetic with what is going on with other people? Or is he okay with what is happening to Black people? Is he okay with it? I remember during Black Lives Matter, what did he do? He went with Candace Owen. See, there are some things that when people talk about, I mean, it really requires critical thinking and also requires you to sit down, deep down, and think about some certain things somebody may have done. I am not saying people do not forgive. Of course, people forgive people and all that. But before you come out to tell a whole Black community that they are not being empathetic or sympathetic with somebody, what is going on with showing empathy with what is going on with Kanye West and all that, I am also going to ask you, how has he treated people around him? How has he also treated to people going through something? Black Lives Matter. What did he do? All these things are very important. Do not give me stone when I am hungry, and at the same time expect that I will also give you bread, right? When you are hungry. If I give you bread when you are hungry, it also shows how great I am, right? Probably I let go and all that, but it's not everybody that let go. So if I were back to you and you still choose to show me that I were back to you and I am not going to blame you because it was what I did to you that you are reciprocating to. So let's learn to understand this. That I do not treat people poorly. And when people also treat you poorly, you start asking about empathy or you start asking about sympathy, right? All those things are just like, I have always been preaching, normalize holding grudges if that will make you feel better and all that. And I am not going to stop preaching it. So people should really live right. I am not saying being perfect. We are not perfect human beings. We have our flaws and all that. But your ability to correct your flaws and also let people know that you have flaws and you probably that you have erred and all that also make us human and that also give room for understanding one another better. I don't know if this does make sense, but yeah, I am of the opinion that empathy is very, very important and should be shown to people when there is need for it. But make sure that while you are expecting that, when you something is going on with it and you are expecting, make sure you have also shown sympathy and empathy to the people. So I think he is getting what he did. Like, sometimes you get what you dish out. I don't know if that does make sense, but this is just my opinion. Feel free to let me know what you are thinking, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.